Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hello everyone. First of all, let us thank God because with His grace, we can gather on the opportunity this evening. An honor to meet you here. Before we begin, allow me to introduce the team. I'm Unsa as moderator.
I'm Ariel Mareska.
I'm Mafta Tulisya.
I'm Muhammad G. Darmawan.
I am Regita Kairunisa Kosasi.
We are from Group 10 will be presenting about language change. Well, to shorten the time, let's head over to the presentation session. For Muhammad Gali Darmawan, the screen is yours.
Okay. First, the definition of language change. Language change is the phenomenon by which permanent alterations are made in the future and the use of a language over time. Unnatural language change and language change affect all areas of language use. Types of language change include sound change, lexical change, semantic change, and syntaxis change. The branch of linguistic that is expressly concerned with change in a language or in language over time is historical language, also known as diachronic linguistic. Next. Language change according to traditional views. Perubahan bahasa menurut pandangan tradisional mencakup juga perubahan struktur bahasa pada waktu tertentu. Perubahan secara tradisional dibagi menjadi dua, yaitu perubahan internal dan perubahan eksternal. Perubahan internal, perubahan yang ada dalam bahasa itu sendiri, yaitu perubahan pada tatanan mikro, linguistik. Bahasa pada tatanan morfologi, dan sintaksis yang sama dapat pula dikatakan perubahan bahasa sebagai akibat perjalanan waktu menjadi bahasa-bahasa mandiri yang berasal dari sebuah bahasa asal. Yang sama dapat dijejaki dengan menerapkan teori relasi kekerabatan. Yang kedua, perubahan eksternal. Perubahan yang terjadi karena pengaruh bahasa dan dialek lain seperti growing. Hal ini terjadi karena faktor sosial dan budaya yang berlangsung. Perubahan bahasa secara eksternal yang terjadi sebagai akibat proses kontak bahasa, baik dalam konteks linguistik, area, maupun dalam rangka hubungan sosial politik. Perubahan bahasa secara eksternal dapat terjadi sebagai akibat proses kontak bahasa, baik dalam konteks linguistik, area, maupun dalam kerangka hubungan sosial politik. Dapat ditelusuri dengan teori difusi. Next. Perubahan internal. Fonologi. Perubahan fonem bunyi Februari menjadi Februari. Morfologi. Contoh, bor plus prefix mi menjadi mengebor. Sintak. Contoh, dia mulai menulis sejak duduk di bangku SMP. Kalimat transif tanpa objek. Kosakata bertambah, hilang, berubah makna kata. Contoh, pen, Honda. Merek dagang, TNI. Akronim, mahasiswa, meja hijau. Kata menjebuk atau penggabungan kata. Sumber, gabungan kata. Semantik, perubahan pada makna butir-butir leksikal yang mungkin berubah total, meluas, atau juga menyempit. Contoh, saudara. Bukan lagi bermakna orang yang lahir dalam ibu yang sama. Next.
Perubahan eksternal. Contoh perubahan bahasa karena pengaruh teknologi, Android, gadget, nama yang tidak ada di suatu bahasa seperti kanguru. Contoh lainnya yaitu terjadi pada bahasa Inggris yang melakukan peminjaman bahasa atau borrowing dari bahasa Perancis, Jerman, Iceland, dan modern Hebreu. Perubahan bahasa juga harus memperhatikan family tree, yaitu mata rantai keluarga bahasa. Melihat varietas bahasa sehingga perbedaan varietas bahasa dapat dilihat dengan jelas dengan membandingkan dengan bahasa lain. Next. Example illustrating change in your local language. My grandparents did not talk the way I talk. For example, my mother father never used the Minangkabau's word Piriang referring to a plant. Instead, he always said Cipian. My mother said the same word. However, I have never said that word. And even in childhood, I considered it strange. Other today's young people also have very likely noticed that their parents or their grandparents speak or spoke a little differently from them. And if they have children or grandchildren, they have almost certainly heard their children saying things that they would never say. Everywhere we can observe that we might find difference in speech between the generations. Each generation speaks little differently because our language is our chain. And not just our language, every language is our chain. There is no such thing as a living language that fails to change. This is a patch of truth on which we can rely absolutely. The example illustrated above again show that language always changes on a personal level in day-to-day communication. However, this might not be easily apparent or obvious. We are so intimately connected to our language that we may fail to see it change in much the same way that our closest to our children observes perception of their development. But language do indeed change. Some language flourish and expand and some language die. The above illustration depicts how the communication pattern in one family shift from one language to another until communication between generations becomes difficult or ceases altogether. This is often the case in immigrant families as the children integrate into mainstream society and begin to lose their home language. Thanks.
General causes of language change. The majority of changes are due to the change of infiltration of foreign elements, and perhaps the most widespread version of this view is the so-called substratum theory, the suggestion that when immigrants come to a new area or when an indigenous population learns the language of newly arrived conquerors, they learn their adopted language imperfectly. They hand on this slight imperfection to their children and to other people in their social circle and eventually alter the language. In addition to substratum theory, sometimes immigrants attempt to overcorrect what they feel to be faulty accent, resulting not only in a movement away from the substratum language but also in a change in the adopted language. Next, social needs. The widely held view on sociolinguistic causes of language change involves the notion of need. Language alters as the needs of its user alter. It is claimed, a viewpoint that is sometimes referred to as functional view of language change. This is an attractive notion. Need is certainly relevant at the level of vocabulary. Unneeded words drop out. Items of clothing which are no longer worn, such as doublet or kirtle, are now rarely mentioned outside a theatrical setting. New words are coined as they are required. In every decade, neologisms abound. A Twiglu is a treehouse. A netizen is netcitizen. A keen user of the internet twerking, taking without the owner's consent is car theft. These words all became widely used recently. Names of people and objects are switched if the old one seems inadequate. The word the word blind rarely occurs in official documents and tends to be replaced by the politically correct phrase visually challenged, which is supposedly less offensive to those who cannot see. Okay, next.
Why does language change? Language change. First, it changes because the needs of its speakers change. New technologies, new products, and new events require words to refer to them clearly and efficiently. Consider texting. Originally, it was called text messaging because it allowed one person to send another text rather than voice message by phone. As that became more common, people began using the shorter form text to revert to boot the message and the process. As in, I just got a text or I'll text Sylvia right now. Many of the changes that occur in language begin with teens and young adults. As young people interact with others their own age, their language grows to include words, phrases, and constructions that are different from those of the older generation. How does language change? First, language learning language is transformed as transmitted from one generation to the next. Each individual must recreate a grammar and lexicon based on input received from parents, older siblings, and other members of the speech community. The experience of each individual is different, and the process of linguistic replication is imperfect, so that the result is variable across individuals. Second is language contact. Migration, conquest, and trade bring speakers of one language into contact with speakers of another language. Some individuals will become fully bilingual as children, while others learn a second language more or less well as adults. In such context situation, language often borrow words, sounds, construction, and so on. Also, migration movement can make speakers will change and create language such as pidgins and creoles.
The third is social differentiation or social status. Social groups adopt distinctive norms of dress, adornment, gesture, and so forth. Language is part of the package. Linguistic distinctiveness can be achieved through vocabulary, pronunciation, morphological processes, syntactic construction, and so on. Fourth is natural processes in usage. Rapid or casual speech naturally produce processes such as assimilation, dissimilation, syncope, and apocope. Through repetition, particular cases may become conventionalized and therefore produce even in slower or more careful speech. Word meaning change in a similar way through conventionalization of processes like metaphor and metonymy. Okay, thank you for all the presenter. Well, ladies and gentlemen, dari materi tersebut dapat saya simpulkan bahwa perubahan bahasa adalah proses perubahan yang terjadi dalam elemen kebahasaan seiring berjalannya waktu. Perubahan bahasa merupakan subdisiplin ilmu dari linguistik yang berbicara mengenai proses perkembangan bahasa dari awal mulai keberadaannya hingga kondisi saat ini, serta mekanisme yang terlibat di dalamnya. Finally, we come to the end part of our presentation. Thank you for your participation. May all those we have shared be beneficial for all of us. Thank you.